Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a depressing edition of This Is Our Life. I just talked to my uncle, and my mother is on hospice care. Do you remember the name of the company?
New Century, I think.
New Century.
Is that
Never heard of that one. I would prefer she be on VITAS because that's where she worked. That's where I volunteered. They were good people, so that's what I would prefer. I'll call them tomorrow. Um, I mean, I honestly didn't think I would actually be sad or upset by this, but I am. Now for my sister.
oh God.
Yeah. I've sent you a message on Twitter. I sent Melissa a message on Twitter. I gave our uncle your home phone number, what is listed as your home phone number. So I don't know if this is an incense or a sparkler, but anyway,
Don't light your beard on fire.
yeah, you need to sign papers, Cindy. You don't have to go to the funeral home. You don't have to go to the nursing home. Look, I was supposed to be the one who had all the problems, who couldn't handle life, da 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 da. You were the one that went to school. You actually, you didn't graduate. You got a GED, but you can do the math and the spelling and all that. Things I,
Rivet.
well, that I never learned to do. I was going from one institution to another to another. Geez, I don't think I was even in class half the time. And all but one of those institutions, they could have cared less about education. Thankfully, that one place did care. But according to our mom, even Dr. Peskov said I was never gonna make it in life, which is a pretty mean thing to say about a person. But all you need to do is sign a piece of paper. That's all you need to do. You don't have to.
What's going to happen if she doesn't?
Then we have to wind up paying refrigeration fees for our mother's body, which is several $100s a day.
She said I think it was $225 a day.
220. I don't have that, Cindy. Our uncle doesn't have that. Jeez,
Well, be a pain in the ass.
he just spent I don't
Go
know
sign a piece of paper.
how much money on the funeral home. My goodness.
Like $2,500.
Yeah, I'm like,
We're not made. He's not made out of money. Neither are we. So you better get your shit straight.
that's my wife, by the way. Yeah, I'm married. What about you, Cindy? What are you doing? I'm married. We have a life. And
Not like
I'm,
somebody's forcing you to go see your mother.
yeah, I
Just
mean,
go sign the piece of paper and get off of your high horse attitude.
all we have to do is fax the paper to, I don't even need to know the number to fax it to. Uncle Frank will get the information and we'll take care of that. And we'll fax the document to you, and all you have to do is sign a piece of paper.
Not getting drug into anything.
Yeah, you're not being taken to the nursing home, the funeral home, cemetery, because we're going to have her cremated. So you don't even, there's not going to be a freaking funeral.
Tombstone.
Yeah, so all you have to do is sign a piece of paper. How hard is that? Emotionally, yeah, I mean, I've seen our dads. My goodness, Cindy, I read our dad's autopsy report. My
That's
wife
not
read
good.
her son's autopsy report. Her own son. And
Yeah, you're my 15-year-old son, my only child. I can't have any more.
and
And I had to stand there and sit there and read his autopsy.
and all you have to do is sign a piece of paper. You don't have to read this stuff. You don't even have to look to see that there's an autopsy report. You know, all you have to do is sign a paper that will be faxed to you, and then you just fax it back. You can fax at the library, you can fax at work, you can fax from home, you can fax from a friend's place, from a business. That's all you have to. How hard is that?
Not very hard, but making it rough on other people.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. You're making it harder on everybody else. Please, Cindy, this is the last thing that you need to do. It has to be done.
You don't have to have contact with James or
Yeah, you don't have to have contact with us. All you have to do
with Uncle
is,
Frank.
yeah, is sign that freaking piece of paper. So please step up finally and do the right thing.
All it takes is a signature.
Yeah. So, if
Believe me, I can understand you may hate my mother because my mother was just about as bad as yours is. But I went to her funeral. I helped plan her funeral. I did what I had to do, even though I couldn't hardly stand the sight of her.
did you hear that? I'm not going to say, Cindy, I am not going to sit here and say our mother was a saint or even close to it. She was a long, long way from that. But you just heard my wife, what she did. Look at what I've done. Look at what our uncle and cousins, Cindy, our uncle and cousins, one cousin from Virginia, one from South Carolina, and our uncle from Virginia, they drop everything. They dropped everything. These people have careers. Well, our uncle is now retired, but both our cousins, they teach at university. They have careers. They dropped everything, got on an aeroplane, and flew to San Antonio to help me take care of our mother. I'm not going to sit here and say they liked her or disliked her because that's not an issue. But I wouldn't think she was well liked, considering a lot of things you don't even know about Cindy because you refuse to be a part of anything.
You
If
may
you,
not have liked her, but why didn't you help? At least help her. Help.
she's still our mother, and
Now you may be adopted, but that's still your mother.
yeah, and they drop everything, go to San Antonio, help out. I don't know. With all honesty, if they disliked her or dislike her, I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't blame them at all. But they helped out. They came to the wedding. Well, not Brian, but Jane and
The
Uncle
ones that
Frank
could,
and
I think.
yeah, the ones that could came to the wedding. Yes, Cindy, I'm married. Look at that. Of course, what's over there is more important than what's on the finger, but this thing on the finger represents,
It.
yeah. So, gosh, and for Cindy, let me tell you what's been going on, okay? Last fall, my beautiful wife, she wasn't my wife then, she was my fiancée, she had one breast removed because of breast cancer, okay? And our cat John, he's still young. I mean, he's
He's a year over a year old.
just over a year old. When we got back, we had to drive from Troy, New Hampshire, all the way to Lebanon, New Hampshire.
Basically 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hour drive all the way up there, and then we have to drive back. Now, we had many, many trips up there and back because first we had to go and do the exams and testing and talking to the people, and then we have to go up there for the surgery. My wife goes through that surgery. Okay, this was in the fall, and less than a year ago. She also has to deal with diabetes. I say she, us, I mean it's us. Now, the other day at the ER, they say the cancer spread. But she's not giving up. I'm not giving up. We're not ignoring this. We're facing life and moving forward. And you can do the same thing. You can do the same thing. All you have to do is stand up and do it. It may seem difficult, but it can be done. I'm not going to say it's not difficult. I'm not going to say it's not emotionally draining or anything like that, because it is. But it doesn't mean you're not capable of doing it. You are capable of doing it. Look, Cindy, what did you do in what middle school? You were first chair in, I forget, cornet, I think you played. That took effort on your part. That took a lot of hard work on your part. But you did it. You didn't just give up on it. And you can do this too. So, all you have to do is sign a piece of paper. That's all you have to do. Just sign a piece of paper. How hard is that? Not hard. Not unless you make it hard. It's still not hard. You're just thinking it's hard because you're in your head. You're making it seem more difficult than it really is. So, please, Cindy, just step up for once.